Alright guys, I'm going to go over my second blog from my high school senior year, which is about kissing and the concept of a first kiss. I don't really have anything to say up front, so let's just get into it. Blog number 2, Kissing. For my second blog, I am going to talk about kissing. Back when I was younger, I both real people in the world and characters in movies kissing, and back then, it didn't seem to bother me too much. By now, this has very much changed. I can't remember exactly when at this point, but recently, as in a few years ago, probably sometime around my sophomore year, I watched a boy and a girl at my school make out, and I began to get a rather unpleasant feeling throughout my body. It was possibly a little bit of jealousy, but it was so in ways that I could not describe. If this feeling were to come out as a voice, it would say something along the lines of, "Why couldn't that be me? Why do I have to be the one standing over here watching those two over there be happy with each other in such a way like that? What's wrong with who I am?" And ever since that day, that's how it's always been with me when I see couples making out. And of course, if a making out notices me looking at them, they both just shoot me back. Awkward looks, ones that non-verbally tell me, "Get out of here, you lonely freak." We want to continue to do this thing that is not going to ever be for someone like you without having people like you look at us and feel bad for yourself about it. Sorry if that was a little wordy, but you probably get the main idea. This has been a growing symptom of my depression. At this point of time, I get the same feeling when I see couples making out in public, in the rest of the world as well. I really hate watching romance movies where the main character is a boy or a girl, and they feel all alone. And by the end they find someone, and they get to have their giant kissy-lovey scene with their new partner, and they are happy forever. The end. Why? Because no. I'm sorry, that's not how life works. Life is not a story where you feel alone and then suddenly you will just happen to meet the love of your life and get to be with them. For some, it may be, but for other, me included, it is not. And the scenes where the boy and the girl are slow talking to each other and little by little their lips are moving close together. But right as they touch, something happens to interrupt this kiss, that kind of stuff just annoys the shit out of me. Why? Because we as the audience know that there will be a scene where this boy and this girl, who somehow just happen to be meant for each other out of nearly nothing, will in fact kiss, so you might as well just get on with it, right? So this is why I just can't stand romantic movies. Bringing this topic back to me, like I have stated in my previous blog, Rejection Depression, I currently have 2 friends, and both of them have girlfriends, and have had their first kiss at this point, as well as many others by now. I am stuck right between them with nothing, and I feel very awkward, uncomfortable about it. Also, as I have stated in my previous blog, sometimes I can't even stand watching my own parents kiss each other. This gives me the feeling I mentioned earlier as well. It wasn't always like this, and I don't know why I feel this way now, but it's there. The main point of which I am trying to say here is that, even at the age I am, coming from a school where kissing someone of opposite sex is a daily part of life, my lips still have never touched those of a girl's. As a matter of fact, the only girl that I have ever kissed in my life was my own mother. In this regard, kissing is a huge subject that is almost constantly on my mind, and my lack of it while I experience others getting it is only another feeding source for my rejection depression. That was my blog on kissing, and yeah, I don't know. Anytime I see someone kissing, even nowadays, it just fills me with a sense of defeat and dread. There was a movie that I watched some years ago called Valerian and the City of a Thousand Moons or something like that, which was actually probably the movie that really began my inceldom. I will probably make another video on that at a later date. But ever since I watched that movie, I just can't stand to see people kiss. Like, even just as my school, after I graduated high school, I saw people kissing out and about during the summer and when I went to college. Sure enough, my roommates would always make out in the dorm all the time. Also, I was going to therapy at the time and I ended up complaining to my therapist about it. She just gave me a lot of blue pill advice like, "Oh, just tell them to stop and keep looking, you will find someone eventually." And yeah, I saw that a lot of channels like this one do talk about the truth behind therapy, and I will probably make a video and do the same. I really want to share my thoughts about it, as it really was probably one of the worst decisions I have ever made in my life. And so, yeah, long story short, I hate seeing people kiss. It just feels like I get hit in the face with a boxing glove every time I see it or something like that. And then the guy and girl always used to give me awkward looks afterward for no reason, because they could probably just sense that I never got that. And here I am, 27. No first kiss, no nothing. So this blog is actually still pretty relevant today. Anyway, that's enough of that for now. Until next time when I read my next blog about aging and really my thoughts on getting older. Until then, guys, peace.